At least we're not the only ones in the world messing things up because Dubai decided they wanted to play with the
Mother Nature.
weather with Mother Nature and
Yeah.
effed everything up. And even to the point that now cats are stranded.
Poor cat. Are
I
they
know,
saving
right?
it?
Yeah, they're saving it.
Okay, good.
So I mean, there's at least some humanity left in the world where they save the cat from the problems that the humans created in the first place. Poor kitty.
I love it.
But it's just the point that like, so the flooding's been happening in Dubai for more than a few days now because of not cloud seeding, by the way, as the mainstream media has pointed out to us that is a conspiracy theory and that cloud seeding is not a real thing, or that it's not the reason that is happening. Right? They're saying that's not the reason. So I want you to look at this screen. I'm going to bring up, and where all the articles are saying, especially the BBC one, is really funny to me. No, cloud seeding didn't cause the Dubai floods. It did not cause it. All of this is not real.
And that's all mainstream, right?
Yeah, this is all mainstream. I'm going to go through the headlines. So here they are. UAE government unit denies cloud seeding took place before Dubai flood, right? Even though there's a Wikipedia entry on cloud seeding in UAE. And then, what is cloud seeding and did it play a role in Dubai floods? And anytime that a headline asks a question, the answer is generally no. Just as a rule of thumb, if you see somebody question in a headline, the answer is generally no at the end of it, every single time. So Dubai grinds to a standstill as flooding hits the city. Yeah. So they pretty much go, yeah, no, all this is oh yeah, here you go. Reuters, what caused Dubai floods? Experts cite climate change, not cloud seeding.
Of course. Hey, what caused climate change? Cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding. Yeah. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, cloud seeding causes climate change. I mean,
So
they can control the weather, but like I said backstage, you can control the weather, but you can't control how Mother Nature's going to react to it.
So this is what they're saying. Did the cloud seeding cause the storm? Rainfall is rare in the UAE and elsewhere on the Arab Peninsula, and is typical known for as a dry desert climate. Yeah, because sometimes it rains in the desert. Usually in the wet season, it gets really, really wet. Okay, that's just how desert climate works. So they're saying that the cloud seeding process, which is chemicals implanted in the clouds, I have a video I was going to show later on that. They located the hottest regions and they effort to see clouds and the precipitation, but they're saying that it had no operations during the storm. So this is the information we needed. They say they didn't cloud seed before the storm, but they do cloud seed sometimes.
Yeah, but they didn't
I think
this time.
Yeah, because I believe the UAE and any government when they tell me they didn't do a thing, when more than likely they did the thing.
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah, they did it. So I have a video. I wanted to get everybody on the same page before heading out here. What cloud seeding actually is and what it does. And this is a technology they've been working on for a very long time. This is what they say that what it's supposed to do. Oh shit! I thought I had it up. My bad. Here you go.
Smaller hail pellets.
This is done by introducing a seeding agent through pyrotechnic flares attached to an aircraft. Think Roman candles with a mission to deliver those condensation nuclei that encourage more collisions and group huddles by ice crystals inside the cloud. Common seeding agents used are dry ice, the solid form of carbon dioxide, silver iodide, or simple salts like sodium chloride. Seeding agents act as additional ice nuclei. In the case of silver iodide, its structure is very similar to ice, hexagonal, which is why experts think ice wants to bond to it. When silver iodide is used in a cloud, water droplets begin to give up water vapor and shrink. At the same time, the ice crystals already present in the cloud collect this moisture and grow. As ice crystals bang into other ice crystals, they become larger and heavier until they fall from the cloud. So why would we even want to do this? Who does it benefit?
In the wintertime.
So they're saying they didn't do that. That's what cloud seeding is, so we understand what the definition of cloud seeding is. They're saying they did not do that before the storm. More than likely, in my opinion, this is my opinion, my theory, they did do that, and it happened to just coincide with the rainy season that usually happens so often in a desert climate. And so they seeded on top of what they thought was going to be a dry spell. And instead, it wasn't a dry spell, it was the flooding season. And they just added on top of it, is what happened.
Maybe, I don't know. I just think they're messing around with things that they shouldn't mess around with, and we was never created to mess around with the environment, and they did
Yep.
it, and it, like you said, it gave them a reaction that they didn't want, because that's all scientific nerd stuff, and they put all these chemicals in the air, something in the atmosphere, something else, to create something more than what they really wanted. Now, it got out of control. Mother Nature was like, "Oh, you think you can control me? You can't control me." And she showed you that you're not in control. God showed you you're not in control. You're not in control. He's showing you every single day.
Yeah, and this is some of the video footage coming out of Dubai that happened with the floods. I mean, we're talking massive floods. This is not normal flooding. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not normal flooding for that area at that particular time. Like, that is too much water. And so, like I said, I think they just added on top what was already a change in the climate, as they put it, climate change. Is that they were the rainy season was already coming. They didn't know that because they're playing with things they're not supposed to play with, and then they messed up the climate. That's what they did. It's like
And
that's what I'm thinking.
they're doing that. They're doing that all over the globe, and they're calling it climate change. I mean, cloud seeding has been going on for decades, centuries. I mean, ever since at least I can go far back as World War II, they were using cloud seeding. If you look up
Yeah.
at the sky every day, and look up at the sky, when you start seeing what they call chemtrails, which is real, and they denied it. That's all cloud seeding. That's all they're doing. They're just putting chemicals in the atmosphere, and who knows what chemicals they're putting in? These same chemicals that they put in the atmosphere. What goes up, must come what?
Let's come down, man.
Must come down. So whenever they create this fake rain, whenever they create that stuff, all that fake rain has to come back down. It gets in our soil, it gets in our plants, it gets in our water supply, it gets in our food, and we don't even know what's in there. And a lot of it's aluminum. So they know what they're doing, man. They know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to kill us.
They know. So here's the last bit of fun before we head out of here for the night. This is the 1979 warning of an impending ice age, because climate science is never wrong.
Data shows that average temperatures in the Arctic have fallen dramatically over the last 30 years. In most locations, the drop has been about 2 degrees centigrade. At that rate, the descent to ice age temperatures could take less than 200 years. It is not only the lonely Arctic that has cooled. The whole northern hemisphere is growing steadily colder.
There is little doubt that someday the ice will return. At least 8 times in the past million years, it has advanced and retreated with clockwork regularity. If we are unprepared for the next advance, the result could be hunger and death on a scale unprecedented in all of history. What scientists are telling us now is that the threat of an ice age is not as remote as they once thought. During the lifetime of our grandchildren, Arctic cold and perpetual snow could turn most of the inhabitable portions of our planet into a polar desert.
Into a polar desert. He said it.
Fear mongering, and then ice age. They figured out that that no one's falling for that, so they created global warming. So it went from cooling to warming.
Yeah.
And then all the gee whiz scientists were saying, well, the temps, and people were getting smart, right? As technology increased, your average citizen wasn't relying on these freaking paid buffoons to teach us stuff. Your citizens were finding it out for themselves. So they were like, oh man, it's not warming. People are finding out. Well, we'll just throw a blanket term on it and just call it climate change. That can mean anything.
It's so broad. Climate change is so broad. Anything could be climate change.
We can
Earthquakes are climate change now too. You know?
Yeah, we can call anything climate change. I mean, I think I've asked this question before, at the so-called ice age, which they said we had. I don't know. I don't believe anything they tell us. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. If you believe it, you believe it. I don't trust it. How did all the ice melt? Like, there was just woolly mammoth. They were farting. How did all the ice melt?
There are more land animals that existed in the past than there are today.
Well,
and they're complaining they got farts are killing us.
Exactly. So how did all the ice melt? That woolly mammoth fart must have been crazy to melt all that ice. They said it covered the whole globe, just woolly mammoth
Mhm.
farting and moving along, and all the ice just receded into the Arctic. It was just like, we're just going to go to the Arctic and we're going to sit here for the next million years and
You know
nothing's going to happen. Yeah,
what's
it's
funny is
all
that
a
we're
bull
technically
crap.
still in an ice age because the ice age actually refers to the poles having ice caps. When there's not an ice age, there is no ice caps.
Well, that's never been seen.
That's never been seen in the human lifespan,
Exactly.
or at least
It's
in
never
recorded
been
history.
seen.
Exactly.
So anytime these scientists talk about that stuff, they no human was around to say it happened. So I don't. That's why I'm saying I don't believe it. If I wasn't there, there
Yeah,
wasn't a
but
human there.
it's all made up until they're proven wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything's made of. They, when they talk about all these theories and all the ice and all this stuff that happened back a million years ago because of carbon data and all this stuff. So you mean to tell me you picked up a slab of dirt? And you know how old that dirt is based off carbon. You know what I mean? It makes no sense to me. Man wasn't even around. Well, maybe they were. I'm not gonna say man wasn't around because,
Yeah.
but I think we go a lot further back than what they tell us. But
Here's before we head out, here's a conspiracy theory that some people are saying is that there was an ice age, and then they decided, hey, we're gonna stop it by warming the earth, and now they went too far, and now they've got to cool it again.
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe, I don't know, man. It's just, those are the questions I ask, and you got to ask yourself. They know the consequences of messing with the weather. So say this little thing in Dubai, this storm in Dubai comes out and
Yeah.
says it was caused by cloud seeding or HARP or whatever. Then you got to start questioning all these other crazy weather anomalies that's been happening around the world. Then people start questioning it. So the first thing they did when the storm happened, they was like, "Oh, it wasn't cloud seeding." No, 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 no. Because it's going to get
Wasn't
people to
that?
start questioning everything.
Mm-hmm.
You start questioning because we already know they can manipulate the weather. We know this,
Yeah.
especially for dry lands. If there's an area that's real dry and they have crops, they can create clouds so it can rain and help the crops or help the dry lands. So whatever they're doing, they just need to stop because eventually, they're going to say climate change, and then here's how they're going to fix it. They're going to get what they want with the Green New Deal. They're going to get rid of these programs, the HARP and the cloud seeding. Then they're going to talk about how great they are. Look at the climate now. Look at the pretty blue sky. We haven't had any crazy weather patterns because we controlled climate change.
Yep.
Exactly what they're going to do. They're going to come out as the victors when they're causing all of this. Then when it happens, they get what they want. They're going to stop it so they can prove that it worked when
Yep.
it never existed to begin with. You got to be
The
smarter than
argument
these
is
buffoons.
that they control everything when they control nothing.
Yeah, they control
That's the way
nothing.
it
They
is.
think they're smart. They're not smart, man. We can see right through it. Well, at least people like us, we can see right through their buffoonery because it's so obvious to me. I don't know about to you people, but to me, it is obvious that they're full of crap.